If you're like 20, 30, even 40 years old, you'd need to know about this study done in nursing homes because I swear it affects you. The study found that of all of the seniors living in the nursing homes, those who were rebellious, broke more rules, and made more of their own decisions lived way longer. That included breaking rules like if they weren't allowed to share food, they would stay up past their bedtime, and they would do all of this other stuff that they wanted to do. That means it's possible that being reasonably rebellious and making your own decisions will help you live longer. And won't it make life better too? Here's how I close 5-figure deals as a copywriter pretty much anytime I want. 5 figures is vague. So what I mean by that is I'm not looking at a project unless it's $10,000, then it has to be a very easy one. If it's an extensive, elaborate project, like a whole funnel with a long front-end sales letter or video sales letter, we're talking at least $50K. The first reason I get paid those rates is because I have gotten stellar results before. I have a track record, and I built my own $1 million company using my long-form direct response sales copy. So if you're missing out on results, you have to figure out one way or another to get them. Either you get lower paying clients who are willing to take more of a chance on you. You write for yourself and throw some of your own paid advertising behind it. You write on spec, though that is the one I suggest the least. It has to be very specific situations for that. 5 things I did to fast track my business success, part 1. Follow for the other 4. Invest, invest, invest. I invested in coaches and mentorships the most. For me personally, learning from a book or learning from a course is not exactly the best way for me to learn. I need that other human at the other end of the line who holds me accountable and who I ask questions to. Even when it felt like a stretch, just the part of putting in $1 down on my dreams made me so much more leveled up and able to take action. 5 things I did to fast track my business success, part 2. I'm Laura Catella, your favorite unhireable business coach with a no bullshit mindset approach. And the second thing I did to fast track my success in business is try, honey, try and fail again. There's a phrase, if you love something, let it go. My phrase for that is if you love something, let it go again and again and again. And if you want to succeed in business, you need to try again and again and again. I can't tell you how many offerings I have made that have fallen completely flat and have had no sales. But that does not stop me, girl. I reposition, I learn, I gather the data, and I try again. If you don't give up, you can't fail. Here's how I close 5-figure copywriting deals, part 2. I'm not afraid to walk away from a deal that's not in my range. Aristotle said, nature hates a vacuum. That means that saying no is saying yes to the right thing. But if you keep saying yes to the wrong things, you won't create a vacuum. You won't have the space, the availability, and the open energy for that more ideal deal to come to you. So you need to practice saying no to the deals that don't serve you in order to get the ones that do. While you say, I don't have time, you literally still have time. There's this idea that time is limited and we have to take or use whatever we can get. But the truth is, time comes from us. So anytime you feel stressed and low on time, tell yourself, time comes from me. I make time. Notice how much better you feel and how more able you are to take action. So I'm known for wearing wild outfits at my events, which leads to me getting some confused, kind-hearted haters. Here's what they'll never understand and why I'll always win. 1, yes, the polarity is great. People either love or hate my outfits. Either way, I'm getting attention. 2, I'm wearing what I want to wear. Turns out when you do the things you want to do, even if other people think they're crazy, it makes you happy, it floods you with good hormones, and it actually increases the likelihood that you'll live longer. What the fuck is the point of living your life if it's not really your life and it's the life that everybody else wants you to live? Lastly, remember this. If you dress like the audience, you'll be in the audience. Follow if you're the type of person who supports and gets energized by seeing other people live their life and you want to live yours too. Yours too. I'm working on this presentation here and I just made me think of something funny coaches do. So a lot of coaches will talk about things they've accomplished for themselves and then they'll say, I'll show you how. But what I don't see a lot of coaches do is sharing results their actual clients have gotten. I'm not saying that immediately makes them a fraud or a scam or anything like that. I'm just saying that if I'm looking for a coach, I want them to have also gotten results for their clients and not just made money themselves by selling their own coaching to those clients whose results you never hear about. Does that make sense? In going through the motions of letting someone go, the first one you feel is, hold on. I gotta hold on to them. I gotta hold on to this. I wanted this. I know this. And so often we get stuck there in that first stage. So we end up holding on. It goes wrong again and again, or at best, we're still not happy, eventually, or again. So if you can understand that the first stage of letting go is this desire to cling on, accept that, honor it. It makes sense. It's very reasonable. And move through it into those further stages of gradually releasing, you will harness the power of letting go. What does it mean to play your game? That's literally going to depend on you. That is the whole point. In a world that's so fucking noisy and when there's so many options available to you and everybody's telling you to do things a certain way, post at this time of day, post 3 times a day, post this type of content, have a great hook. Try out asking yourself, if I was playing my game, how would I post? What would I post? When would I post? You'll feel so much better and you'll be way more consistent because you'll be doing things your way. And I swear to God, your audience is dying for leadership and an example like this. These are broad strokes and one example. Follow for more detailed videos to come. In a world where we want to be validated so fucking desperately, can we not take the low-hanging fruit of giving some of that validation to ourselves? Stop judging your thoughts. We are so prone to doing this all of the time without even realizing how much it holds us back. But if you say to yourself, I want to go after this, or I want to stop doing this, and you immediately judge that thought, I shouldn't want that, or no, I really should continue doing this thing that I don't want to do, you're caught in a useless cycle. Accept the complexity of your thoughts. Secret tip, it's how you find self-validation. That is the process of literally validating yourself, simply by accepting our thoughts. If you're stuck on a problem, ask yourself this. How would a child solve this problem? That's going to shift your perspective out of your own head, because the head that created the problem normally has a hard time being the head that solves the problem. But if you shift into a child's mindset, it's going to bring a lot of creativity, ingenuity, strange ways of thinking about something that might get you closer to a solution for your problem more quickly than you ever imagined. If fear is holding you back from something, here's the trick. You might not like it, but you have to gradually make the unknown that you're afraid of known. Because then if you know it, you won't be so afraid of it because it won't be unknown. But how do you do that? The trick is breaking it down into the tiniest, most micro, eensy-weensy little steps possible. So if you're actually crossing a line, what does it look like when your big toe like just breaches that line? And then a little bit more of your foot and a little bit more. For me, when I started working out, for example, I didn't want to do it. So I asked myself, well, if I were to work out, what would be the first thing I would do? I would put my sneakers on. Okay, I put my sneakers on. I would get in the car. Then I get in the car. Then eventually you end up at the gym and you're doing the thing that was previously unknown to you. So what could you break down into tiny steps to gradually turn the unknown into the known? I received this great question about those not ready to invest in high-end coaching or masterminds, especially when you're not from the US or Europe where the relative price of stuff makes such a big difference. One, if you want to be swimming in the American and European pools, you need to get in the fucking water. Instead of telling yourself, I can't afford it, which is a way of always keeping you on the outside looking in, ask yourself, what can I afford and how could I learn and earn? Because the fact of the matter is, you could go apply for a copywriting gig on Upwork right now for free. And even if you get the gig or not, you will learn via the process of applying for the gig. You could go create a listing on Fiverr right now for free. Learn while you do it and potentially pick up some leads. While you do that, you have the goal in mind of what you want to invest in. What is that first course, so that first 5-day challenge going to be that you get? Because the minute you put that dollar down on your dreams and what you say you want to do, you're going to be so much more serious about it. The second thing you need to consider is inaction has a cost. What is it costing you right now to sit around and say, I can't afford it, I don't know what to do with myself?
YouTube thinks it knows you super duper well. They think you know which video you should watch next. Click over and see if they were right. I'll see you over there.